Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me now? Good. Because today, we're taking a deep dive into the world of communication, specifically the unassuming, yet utterly world-changing, telephone. From its humble beginnings as a glorified talking tin can to the sleek, all-knowing supercomputer in your pocket, the telephone has had quite the glow-up. We've all got one, we all use it, and let's be honest, most of us are probably addicted to it. But have you ever stopped to think about the genius, the struggle, and the sheer audacity it took to invent a device that lets you chat with someone across town, or even across the globe? It's more than just wires and circuits, it's the very fabric of modern connection. So, grab your landline, or more likely, your smartphone, and let's dial into the past to uncover the top 7 telephone innovations that truly rang our world. Starting now. Coming in at number 7, it's where it all began, the invention of the telephone itself. Before 1876, if you wanted to talk to someone not in the same room, you either screamed really loud, sent a letter that took days, or invented a time machine. Then came Alexander Graham Bell, often credited with giving us the gift of voice over a wire. Imagine the first time someone actually heard another human voice transmitted electrically. It must have been like magic. Or, slightly creepy. Mr. Watson, come here, I want to see you. The original booty call, if you will, but for science. It wasn't always clear who invented it first, as with many great ideas, but Bell's patent was the one that stuck, laying the groundwork for literally everything that followed. Talk about a groundbreaking conversation starter. Before Bell, long-distance communication meant pigeons, smoke signals, or a really fast horse. The telephone essentially condensed travel time for messages to zero, fundamentally altering business, personal relationships, and even emergencies. Think about it, a medical crisis, a declaration of love, or just ordering pizza, all now possible in real time, regardless of physical proximity. This wasn't just a gadget, it was a societal earthquake. It meant instantaneous connection, even if the early versions were finicky and required operators to connect you. It was a clunky, often expensive marvel, but it proved that human voices could indeed travel along a wire, defying geography. The world suddenly felt a whole lot smaller, and our voices, a whole lot louder. Spinning into number 6, we have the rotary dial phone. Oh, the satisfying click whir of a rotary dial. Before this invention, you had to ask an operator to connect you. Imagine having to tell a complete stranger, yes, I'd like to speak to Aunt Mildred in Schenectady about her prize-winning petunias. Awkward. The rotary dial, introduced in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, gave users direct control, cutting out the middleman, or middlewoman, as it often was. You became your own switchboard operator, albeit a very slow one. It required patience, a steady finger, and the ability to remember phone numbers without the luxury of a contact list. Each digit was a small act of faith, hoping you didn't accidentally dial 0 for the operator again, just because you were in a hurry. A true test of dexterity and memory. The rotary dial was revolutionary because it meant you didn't have to wait for human intervention for every single call. This enabled the expansion of telephone networks on a massive scale. Think about it, if every call still needed an operator, we'd need an entire city of operators just for my morning coffee order. It introduced the concept of the phone number as a universal identifier that you could input. Plus, it taught us all the invaluable skill of counting backwards in a circle. It was a tangible, mechanical connection to the world, a slow, deliberate process that felt profoundly personal. And let's be honest, nothing felt quite as satisfying as hanging up on someone with a dramatic slam on a rotary phone. Try doing that with your iPhone, you'll just crack the screen. Zooming into number 5, we have the touchtone phone. Remember the satisfying click whir of the rotary? Well, the touchtone phone, introduced by Bell Labs in the early 1960s, said, nah, let's just make it a beep boop. Instead of spinning a dial, you simply pressed a button. This was a game changer for speed and efficiency. What used to take a good 10 seconds to dial a single number could now be done in milliseconds. This innovation paved the way for automated phone systems, voicemail, and that eternal struggle against the press 1 for English menu. It felt like the future, a symphony of tones guiding you through the digital labyrinth. Plus, you could now furiously mash buttons when you were angry, which, let's be honest, is far less tiring than furiously spinning a dial. The touchtone phone, or dual-tone multi-frequency (DTMF) signaling, wasn't just about faster dialing. It introduced us to the concept of interacting with machines using distinct audio tones. This was crucial for early computers and answering machines. Before DTMF, every interaction was either voice-based or required a physical connection. Now, your phone could talk to a computer on the other end, laying the foundation for call centers and IVR, interactive voice response, systems. So, the next time you're stuck in phone menu purgatory, remember, it all started with those delightful little beeps. It was the first step towards a truly digital telephone network, far beyond just human-to-human speech, ushering in an era where your phone could be an input device for much more complex systems. At number 4, we're cutting the cord, literally, with the cordless phone. For decades, your phone was tethered to a wall socket like a prisoner on parole. If you wanted to talk and wander, you were stuck with those ridiculously long, tangled cords that were a hazard to pets and clumsy humans alike. Then, in the 1980s, the cordless phone burst onto the scene, offering freedom. You could now talk while doing dishes, watering plants, or even, gasp, going to the bathroom. This was a revelation. No more straining to hear over the dinner party noise from the kitchen. The only catch? The range was often terrible, and your neighbors could probably listen in on your calls with their own cordless phones. Ah, the good old days of accidental eavesdropping and slightly fuzzy conversations. But oh, the freedom! The cordless phone was a pivotal step towards true mobile communication. It demonstrated the practicality of untethered voice transmission within a limited area. While not truly mobile in the sense of leaving your house, it dramatically changed the way we used phones within our homes. Suddenly, multitasking while chatting became a national pastime. Before, you had to pick a spot and stay put. Now, you could do laundry, cook dinner, or chase after a toddler, all while gossiping with your best friend. It laid the mental groundwork for what was to come, the expectation that your phone should go where you go, not the other way around. It was a precursor to cell phones, showing that people craved freedom of movement while communicating. Blasting into number 3, it's the early mobile phone, affectionately known as the brick. Before smartphones, before flip phones, there were these monumental devices. Imagine carrying around a phone the size of, well, a brick. And it weighed about as much too. In 1973, Martin Cooper made the first public call on a handheld cellular phone, signaling the dawn of true mobile communication. This wasn't just freedom in your home, this was freedom everywhere. If you owned one of these bad boys in the 80s or early 90s, you were either a high-powered executive, a drug dealer, or both. They were status symbols, not just communication tools. Expensive, clunky, and with battery life measured in minutes, they were impractical, yes, but undeniably cool. And you really could use it as a weapon in a pinch. The invention of the mobile phone, specifically the cellular network, meant that your phone signal wasn't tied to a physical line anymore, but to radio waves bouncing between cell towers. This was truly revolutionary. It detached communication from fixed locations entirely. The sheer audacity of being able to make a call from a park bench, a moving car, or even a mountaintop, if you were lucky enough to find signal, was mind-boggling. These early phones, despite their size and exorbitant cost, proved that a truly portable personal communication device was not just a futuristic dream, but a tangible reality. They paved the way for everything we hold dear in our pockets today, proving that humans want to connect, no matter where they are. Even if it meant carrying a small lead weight. And now, for number 2, drumroll please. The smartphone. In the mid-2000s, everything changed. Steve Jobs stood on a stage and introduced the iPhone, a device that wasn't just a phone, but an internet communicator and an iPod, all in one. Android followed suit, and suddenly, our phones were pocket-sized supercomputers. We went from I can make calls anywhere to I can browse the entire internet, take professional-grade photos, navigate the globe, play games, and also, occasionally, make a call, all from the palm of my hand. It wasn't just an evolution, it was a total revolution. The smartphone changed everything about how we interact with technology, information, and each other. And yes, it turned us all into slightly hunched-over screen addicts. But hey, at least we're connected. The smartphone blurred the lines between a phone, a camera, a computer, and a navigation device. It consolidated dozens of gadgets into one sleek slab of glass and metal. The app ecosystem transformed how we consume media, shop, learn, and socialize. Social media, mobile banking, on-demand services, none of these would be possible without the smartphone. It made the internet truly mobile and accessible to billions, empowering individuals in ways previous generations couldn't fathom. It's not just a communication tool, it's an extension of ourselves, an ever-present digital companion. For better or worse, the smartphone has profoundly reshaped human behavior in global society, making it arguably the most impactful telephone innovation since Bell first uttered, "Mr. Watson." And finally, coming in at number 1, the innovation that truly brought us closer than ever, video calling and VoIP. While video phones existed conceptually for decades, the widespread availability of high-speed internet and powerful smartphones made video calls a commonplace reality. From Skype to FaceTime to Zoom, we can now see the faces of our loved ones, colleagues, and even total strangers, in a professional context, mostly, from anywhere on the planet. It's the closest thing to being there without actually being there. This isn't just about hearing a voice, it's about seeing expressions, body language, and messy bedrooms. VoIP, or Voice over Internet Protocol, underpins much of this, essentially turning your internet connection into a phone line. It democratized long-distance communication, making it cheap, or even free. Grandma can now see her grandkids' adorable faces without a plane ticket. Pure magic, or really good compression algorithms? Probably both. VoIP and video calling didn't just add a visual component, they fundamentally altered the economics of communication. Remember paying exorbitant rates for international calls? Now, a video call to Australia costs the same as sending an email. Nothing. This innovation has globalized communication in an unprecedented way, fostering remote work, international collaboration, and keeping families connected across continents. The future of the telephone isn't just about sound, it's about rich, multisensory experiences. From smart speakers initiating calls with just a voice command to augmented reality calls that could project holograms, the telephone continues to evolve, pushing the boundaries of what's possible. We've come so far from "Mr. Watson, come here," to "Hey Siri, video call mom." And I, for one, can't wait to see what invention dials us up next. And there you have it, folks, our top 7 telephone innovations that utterly transformed our world. From Bell's initial spark of genius to the video calls that keep us connected across oceans, the journey of the telephone is a testament to human ingenuity and our unyielding desire to communicate. It's gone from a curious scientific novelty to an indispensable part of our daily lives, proving that sometimes, the simplest ideas have the most profound impacts. Which innovation did you think was the most impactful? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into tech and history, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next upload. Thanks for watching, and remember, keep those lines open.